Hey everybody, I'm here to give you a walkthrough of this puzzle I made called Word Chains. So this is a puzzle that uses a lot of images. I am a big fan of using images in puzzles. It's a kind of a format I like seeing in puzzles a lot, probably more than is common in various puzzle hunts, but I just like images as a way to communicate meaning because there's a lot of things that could be potentially going on. So I'm looking at this puzzle, Word Chains. I see it's got a puzzle title, doesn't provide any flavor text, and then it's got several images with spaces in between, with dashes and boxes. I'm using kind of some of my assumptions about standard puzzle logic. So when I see this series of dashes with a bracket around it, it suggests to me that there is a word of a certain length that's going to fit between these, and that there's something important about, in this case, the first character of that word, the next to last of this word, next to last of that word, second in this word, third in this word, and so on, suggesting that maybe there's going to be some kind of extraction going on there. So next thing, I start looking at what is going on with these images. So I see that this is a kettlebell. I recognize over here that this is the Rebel Alliance logo. I don't know who this fellow with the apron is. There's a map here. There's a car, and this is one of those places where images can be real tricky. It's like, is this a specific car? Is this car doing something? I don't know, and I'm gonna have to try and figure that out, presumably to get the puzzle solved before I even know what's going on. So a lot of times when I'm looking at images, one of the first things I like to hone in on is images of people because they tend to be very specific. So I might just quickly take a screenshot of this fellow and use a Google reverse image search to figure out what's going on with this character, this person, to find out who they might be. So I took a quick screenshot. I'm loading this in, and I'm scrolling through this stuff to see who this might be. And it's interesting. There's lots of images. Some of them look like exactly the image that I've got, and then some of them look related. And the goal is figure out like what's going on here. It's particularly, I love if I can get something that's like from something that feels authoritative, like a Wikipedia page or something like that. But maybe I'll go with this fandom wiki page is enough. And this seems to indicate that this character is named Frypan. And depending on what I'm doing, I might need to do more research. Maybe if the actor is important or the property it's from might be significant. But for now, I am going to write down Frypan over here as my possible meaning for this image. Probably, I don't know what the deal is with this black and white image of this warrior looking character here. So I'm probably going to do a little quick image reverse search there, see if we can get something useful for this character. And oh, here, sometimes AI is helpful for puzzles, usually not. It tells me that this is a Greek hoplite. It's AI, so that might be a thing that's worth checking. But here's something I like seeing is that it's specifically even an image from Wikimedia. I particularly like when something shows up in a Wikipedia article because it's kind of like a canonical source for that particular image. So I would not have recognized this as a hoplite, but the internet tells me this is a hoplite, and that's useful. I'll just tell you, I'll kind of skip ahead. This image down here is the Amazon River. And this is over here is a rally, which is an automotive car thing with an image right from that Wikipedia article. So I've got my 6 words plugged in here, and I now presumably need to do something with them. The name of the puzzle is Word Chains, suggesting something is going to happen with these words. And I start potentially looking for connections, and I'm just going to look at the top one for now. Is there something going on here? There's some letters that overlap between kettlebell and hoplite, and there are some that don't. And it's like, is that an interesting pattern? Is that just how words work? And you might try a couple different things to try and figure out what is going on. And I think the visual suggestion here is that there's something that connects these words in some way, and nothing comes to mind for me in terms of what's going to connect kettlebell and hoplite as concepts. So maybe I need to just think about what's going on in these words, in these terms. And the thing that eventually maybe jumps out at me is taking kind of the end of one and the beginning of the next. Uh, is the word bellhop. Is a word that I don't know. I like. It's kind of a nice little compound word made by taking part of that and part of that, and it happens to be a 6 letter word, or sorry, 7 letter word that fits in my 7 spaces here, with the suggestion that maybe the first letter is important. The B, so I'll capitalize that or otherwise make note of that. So what else is going on here that I could potentially put together? I see down here we have that character Panama, or sorry, Pan and Amazon, and I don't know. I love seeing those words together. I think right away of Panama, which also happens to plug in there. It looks, and the third letter would be important, so I'm going to make that caps. Now it starts to get a little trickier. What's maybe other ways that we could put these together? I might have to look at what is specifically the length of the word that's going to fit in there, and trying to get from hoplite to rally. That's tricky, but maybe I eventually arrive at literal as a word that's going to fit there, that goes from one to the other. Trying to go from rally to rebel is tricky again, but I see it's a 4-letter word, so it's probably only going to use a little bit of each one. What about a liar? And now I'm seeing that the words are starting to spell out BAR. That's a word. That could be a word. That's pretty good. So I'm going to put that there. I need to get from, is it rebel? Is it rebellion? Is it rebel alliance? To fit with fry pan. And another kind of compound word, maybe a little even similar to bellhop, is what if it's the word belfry? And here the second letter is going to be extracted. And I've now kind of chained my words from bellhop to hoplite to rally to rebel alliance to rebel to fry pan to Panama, and I'm extracting BAREN, Baron. That's your 5-letter final solution to this puzzle. Hope you enjoyed this puzzle. Hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. I'll try and do more of these this week.